There's commentary for my new story called Intelligent Authority. And this story takes place in a place called Dialetus. And it's about this girl, Eclipse Rossmore. And basically their entire city, Dialetus, is made by technology. And the main point is that everyone living there are bat-borns and how they're created in bats by the government. So they're not actually like reproduced naturally. So these people are called bat-borns, and that's generally the whole population of Dialetus. Until one day she finds out that she's a true-born, that she's an offspring of a mother and a father, like she was created naturally, basically. And the government is trying to exterminate all true-borns, so she escapes death and she ventures off into the undiscovered, where she finds multiple people like her, and they create a kind of rebel team called the True Blood Society. And then one day they decide to rebel back against the government because the government is starting to increase their attacks on trueborns, and that's pretty much it. So I wrote this story because science fiction was a topic that I wasn't used to writing. Like in my older stories that I've written, it was always about horror or mystery, but never really about science fiction, and I really enjoyed watching science fiction movies. So this was a really different field to my writing, and different aspects and different factors to write about. But it was really interesting. I really enjoyed writing action scenes because I just wanted to put as much action to it as possible. What I thought about when writing this story, well, I only have one concern really, because I already thought about my beginning. I knew how I wanted to play out, and I also knew how I wanted the ending to work, but I just didn't know how I was going to get from point A to point B. So yeah, I was really worried about how the middle would actually link together everything and how smoothly everything would run. But in the end, I think I did a pretty good. The characters. I have a small confession to make. I have an obsession with vampires, and that was what inspired Eclipse Rossmore. The dark hair, pale face, and red eyes. That was what inspired her. It's kind of from Twilight, yeah, I know. I really like vampires. And for Koji, the male counterpart for the story, I was actually reading The Prince of Tennis, and in there was a guy called Kojiro, Kojiro, and he had silver white hair, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So yeah, that's why I gave Koji silver hair, because that just really made him different, and I thought it looked really fun. I had many inspirations from Twilight, from the characters, and Prince of Tennis for the other character, but my main inspiration was actually I'm Number 4, because in I'm Number 4, the bad guys also had a similar system. They had like Bat-borns and Trueborns, and how Bat-borns was their army and Trueborns was the ruling class, and that was the main part that I kind of copied, sort of, because I really loved that system. I thought it was super cool. I just took their system and kind of tweaked it a little bit. Instead of like Bat-borns being the underdogs, it was now the Trueborns that are being hunted. The thing that inspired me was the drug that they used was XDM3, and that actually came from a sports car commercial that I saw, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But on the screen they wrote 5EXI, and then they switched it around, like they flipped it, and then it was I3X2. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world, and it was also in like calculator writing, and when you flipped it, it looked so cool, and I was just so like I said before, the most difficult part for me to write was the middle. The easiest part for me to write was actually the end, because that was where the action scene took place and the kissing scene, and I really liked those personal touches to the story. I really liked writing those. Also really liked writing the beginning when I was describing Dialetus and the Bat-born and Trueborn kind of policy. I thought I worked really hard on that, and I really enjoyed writing it because I felt like the ideas flowed out naturally on that part. So I hope you really enjoyed this author commentary, and check out the rest of this website, and